right, Evan Ginsberg with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Honored to have not one but two authors, co-host, John Winnell, poet, Brian Solomon, wrestling writer, horror writer, and just plain quality writer. How are you guys today?
Yeah, pretty good. Beautiful day. And things are good.
Beautiful shirt. Tell us about your shirt.
Oh, good old Nick Cave. Yeah, this was for the release and the one night only at Town Hall, where they made kind of this quasi-documentary about Nick, the great singer-songwriter, and he was there, and they showed the film and took questions, and he played like 10 songs. It was last week.
And for those who don't know Nick Cave, why is he so special for you?
That's an interesting question. I'm not quite sure, but there's something about, I don't know, something just intelligent and visceral about him at the same time. So he's a wild man and intelligent, and it just speaks to me. There
you go. There you go. So he's higher on your top 5 list than Justin Bieber, I suppose.
Yeah, he just squeaked out Justin Bieber, I guess.
Just a little.
Just a little. And Brian, you have coming out very shortly, Pro Wrestling FAQ. Tell us a little about that.
That's right. Thanks for having me back again, by the way, to talk about it.
My pleasure.
Pro Wrestling FAQ is my book. FAQ, of course, frequently asked questions. So it's basically everything you ever wanted to know about professional wrestling but was afraid to ask. We have a date. It comes out June 24th. You can pre-order it on Amazon.com already from now. So it's going to be happening very soon.
And if you're on my Facebook page, some of my frequently asked questions are, why do fans sit up 3 in the morning being nostalgic about Chris Benoit, who went on a killing spree? What do you think about that one?
I wish I could say that was one of the frequently asked questions in my book.
Right.
It's not. Although there is a little bit about Chris Benoit and that awful tragedy, but I cannot explain the sympathy that wrestling fans, many, not all, still seem to have with the man who murdered his wife and his child. I can't explain it, why you would put a scripted wrestling performance over the lives of 2 human beings, or 3, including himself. Baffles the imagination.
So they always ask, their frequently asked question is, will Chris Benoit go into the WWE Hall of Fame? And we're going to definitively say no, right?
No. As I like to say, that would be like putting Adolf Hitler in the House Painters Hall of Fame.
That's right. That isn't happening.
Yeah, no, not anytime soon.
Right.
No. If Pete Rose isn't going in the Baseball Hall of Fame, this is about 1,000 times worse than anything Pete Rose did. So not going to happen.
Okay. And John, you have a new book out. It's doing well. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah, Poems for Everyday People, and it's over there and over here, and it's poems that have accumulated over time and put in. There's 59 poems, and
so I have a question, a frequently asked question. Why 59 instead of 60?
I don't know. It just happened that way.
Oh, okay.
I just felt that it was, and then the nutty thing is that. I keep writing, but then there's a point where you say, when is it enough? So I had a certain amount and then added about 25 more, and it just felt like a comfortable number.
Okay, whatever works. Whatever. You see, this is a problem with any kind of art. You're writing a movie, you're writing a book, you're doing poems. At what point, and I'll throw this out to you guys, at what point do you say this is finally done? How do you know?
Well, in my case, it would be when the editor tells me to just send the damn manuscript over already and stop messing around with it. That's one way to tell.
All right.
I mean, it's hard. It becomes obsessive as, you work and you work and you rework, and then sometimes you just say, okay, it's done. I mean, I've gone back and read things, that were already in the manuscript form, and I found things that I had to edit, and it actually made it stronger. So, there were stories. There was a painter, a French painter, this guy, they would be up in the gallery outside of his studio, and he'd go in with paints and he'd work on so it'd be, who knows when enough is enough, but you have to stop yourself.
So it's kind of in your gut. You just.
I think a lot of times if you leave it up to the writer, they'll almost never stop. It'll never be just right and just perfect. I mean, I had to cut out. There are 23 chapters in my book. I had to cut out 7 chapters
Wow.
for space.
That's the sequel.
Yeah, or that's the expanded second edition, which I'm hoping will
Okay.
happen.
Oh, that's great.
But they had to talk me down. I kept begging them for more pages and more, but couldn't do it.
I have the name for your second book, Pro Wrestling, More Frequently Asked Questions. You could use
Evan.
those 7
I don't
chapters.
I don't know what I'd do without
That's right.
suggestions like that.
That's right. So what are some of the questions in there?
Well, we cover, I cover, I'm speaking in the royal we, I don't know why. History is a major part of the book. So I break down all the different historical periods of the business, going back to the carnival days and Frank Gotch and George Hackenschmidt up through Gorgeous George.
I loved seeing them as a kid. They were great. Yeah.
I suspected that you might have remembered them in their prime. But I'm covering all the major stars from each period, so there'll be bios on people like Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino and Lou Thez and even John Cena. We bring it right up to the present day. Great photography. I was able to work with the people at Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and they gave me, among other people, they gave me some amazing photography for this book.
Great.
Yeah.
I have a frequently asked question that I always ask. What do you think of these guys who wake up at 6 in the morning, they're saying how much they hate John Cena? What's your take on these guys?
I think that they are probably, they probably have nothing better to do, first of all. There's probably a wood-paneled basement involved somewhere. Yeah. I don't know exactly
and Mom's
where.
making breakfast upstairs.
Faux panel, not even real panel.
And definitely not a lot of real responsibilities or problems in life.
Or,
in a way,
or girlfriends.
I envy them in a way.
Right.
I wish I could be that passionate about something like that. Yeah, but I actually had to get into it when I talk about John Cena in the book. I had to acknowledge how he divides the audience in such an unusual, strange way, where he's supposed to be a good guy, but half the audience can't stand him. It's a weird phenomenon.
I have a theory on Cena. I think that because he's in tremendous shape, because he's very, very successful, because he's at the top of his field, it's beyond, okay, he's a little stale. He kind of does the same thing every match. He's been around forever. But I think there's a certain level of jealousy.
Don't forget the beautiful fiancé.
Beautiful fiancé.
Who's out of the league of 99.999% of the male audience that watches the show.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, because when I hear the word hate, they go, I hate John Cena? That's a little strong, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it's not his fault. I mean, he's a professional guy. He's great at what he does. He's overexposed, but again, that's not his fault. It should be aimed more at the creative people and not at him.
And this is a guy who visits sick and dying children, tons of them. I mean, this is a humanitarian. Yeah. This is not the guy to be hating by any means.
No.
Maybe it is success. People hate success. People like people to be miserable,
I think people are bored with him. He's been at the top for an extremely long time.
I'm bored with a lot of these guys. I don't need to see Kane. I don't need to see Big Show. I don't even need to see Randy Orton. But to wake up and hate somebody is kind of strong.
I find the CM Punk hatred even more troubling to me, because you have a wrestler who actually stood up for himself, did something to help himself instead of giving over his entire life and well-being to people that don't care about him. And they called him out for it, for somehow being a phony or an unprofessional guy. But they're not going to criticize promoters who will take every last penny from these guys and leave them worthless and dying at the end of their lives. I say good for him that he stood up for himself.
Yeah, leave while you're healthy.
Yeah.
He made his money. He invested well, from what I understand. And, more power to him. I mean, what's the point of doing this till you're crippled?
I do think he'll eventually be back, though. I think everybody always comes back. I know it's cynical to say that, but it'll happen maybe 5-10 years down the road.
Terry Funk's 70, he's still coming back. He'll be coming back at 80.
I remember when they used to call him middle-aged and crazy.
Yeah, now he's old-aged, even crazy. I love Terry.
Yes.
I love that man. He's awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
I met him one time backstage at a show, and we had a conversation I'll never forget. What a character he is.
Yeah. And when we say character, he's also one of the most brilliant minds in the business. He understands the inner workings of this business.
He sat me down and he explained to me in detail about how Monday Night Raw is like Bonanza, the old TV show Bonanza.
Right.
And he explained it to me in this way that I couldn't possibly do justice to. But he convinced me that Monday Night Raw is like Bonanza.
And for those who don't know, you actually worked for WWE. Explain in what capacity.
I was one of the writers and eventually one of the editors of WWE Magazine and the whole publications division at WWE, which they recently pulled the plug on. I was there for 7 years. I started out as a copy editor, and I was eventually senior editor. I launched SmackDown magazine, which didn't last long, but it was a valiant effort, I thought. And I had the time of my life, great stories to tell, great stories I can't tell. And unfortunately, they pulled the plug on the magazine finally last month after 31 years of publication. Another victim of the print contraction that's happening right now.
So my question is, you have wrestling fans who live for videos, shoot interviews, YouTube. I mean, is there a real market for wrestling books?
The conventional wisdom used to be, don't do wrestling books because wrestling fans don't read. Now, I think that has been convincingly proven wrong, because over the past 15 years, there have been, I don't think anyone can keep track of how many wrestling books there have been. And I do believe there is a strong audience for those books. There's a lot of people that enjoy reading in depth the kind of stuff that you're not even going to get on a shoot interview.
Exactly.
There's some great books out there.
So you're bringing, I guess, your experience from working on the magazine, all of that into the book?
Yes, well, what they wanted to do was sort of like a compendium, like I said, all you want to know about the wrestling business, top to bottom. But they asked me to do it because they knew I had been involved in the business, and so I was able to reach out to certain people to interview them and pick their brains about their opinions and their ideas. I have quotes in there from superstar Billy Graham and Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer, and Keith Elliott Greenberg, Bill Apter, a lot of people with great insight. Mr. Evan Ginsberg himself is quoted in my book. People with insight on the business that I think maybe an author who was new to it wouldn't necessarily have. So I'm glad I was able to bring that to the table. I do want to mention, though, before I forget, that if people want to find out more about how the book's coming along, on Facebook they can look up Pro Wrestling FAQ. There's a whole page dedicated to it. Or they can follow me on Twitter at B_SOL. And I give constant daily updates on the progress and other kinds of wrestling stuff that I'm sure a lot of your contentious Facebook friends will hopefully be reading on a regular basis.
That's right. I was having battles on Facebook. It's my hobby. But my question is this. We were discussing wrestling journalism in general, and I consider you a writer. You write about everything, not just wrestling. Keith Elliott Greenberg writes about many things, not just wrestling. I think just because somebody summarizes a Raw or a SmackDown on a website and gives the latest scoop, this does not make you Ernest Hemingway or Tennessee Williams or Arthur Miller.
Right.
I mean, I think they have an overinflated sense of who they are, some of these internet wrestling journalists.
That's what's happened with blogs in general. I mean, it's not journalism, it's not really writing, it's, it's viewed or slanted points of view of events, summaries, and any blog.
One thing the internet's done, I mean, it's great to give people a platform, and people who never would have had a platform otherwise. And I don't mean to sound elitist, but I do think that there are many cases where people shouldn't have a platform, unfortunately. And when it's done, what the internet has done is it's cheapened the value of professional writers. If you can get an 18-year-old kid to do, nothing against 18-year-old kids, I was one once, but if you can get an 18-year-old kid to crank out copy for you for pennies, why are you going to bother with somebody who's going to make demands of you like, I think I might deserve to be paid and things like that?
Sure.
So it devalues professional writers. I've tried to combat that both with the wrestling and, as you mentioned, the horror stuff. I do a horror blog, The Vault of Horror, and I try to distinguish it by my professional writing ability, even though I don't do too much with it lately anymore, but I think that's what made it stand out.
I'm always impressed when writers know the basics of grammar, and a lot of wrestling journalists don't. So
sad,
you are a writer. That's why you're here.
It's sad, though, when that's all it takes, though, the fact that you know where to capitalize and put periods and commas and things, that should sort of be a given, but it's not anymore.
It's not anymore.
It's not.
Absolutely. So, guys, please plug your books and any social media.
Okay, yes, it's Poems for Everyday People, and that's me, John Winnell, JONWINELL. And at Facebook, you can just look up my name, or it's the same name at yahoo.com if you want to contact me, and I'd be more than happy to send out a copy.
And later in the show, Curtis and Carla are going to play behind you as you do a poetry set. So that's going to be special,
That'll
and we're
be
looking
fun,
forward
thank
to
you.
that. And one more time, give out your info.
Sure. The book is called Pro Wrestling FAQ, and it's available for pre-order on Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com and look that up. It officially is published on June 24th, but you can pre-order it from now, Pro Wrestling FAQ. You can learn about it on Facebook if you look up Pro Wrestling FAQ, or if you follow me on Twitter at B_SOL.
And for you wrestling fans out there, check out WrestlingThenAndNow.com for some great wrestling merchandise. And when we come back, we will be with Curtis and Carla, some great artists. Don't go anywhere. For nearly a decade, Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Lano, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are archived 24/7 with hundreds of hours of classic interviews. Legends Radio also features the best in indie music, showcasing talent deserving wider exposure.
I'm from Brooklyn, baby. Don't forget the gravy. We are soldiers.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
All right, and we are back with Legends TV, and we are honored to be joined by Curtis and Carla, singers, songwriters, and when you look back at duos, male-female duos, I think of Ike and Tina and Marvin and Tammy. Tell us how you guys came together.
Well, yeah, in fact, one of our songs is a tribute to those famous duets, although it's a country song, so we're thinking more about George and Tammy and
Okay.
Graham and Emmylou.
That's a different Tammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian and Sylvia, right?
But we met on the New York City scene. We've played open mics throughout our career, and somehow we got entangled and started making music together a couple years ago, actually. We've been at it for a while now.
And open mics are a mixed blessing.
That's
You
true.
can meet some great people, you could do some networking, and there are some people that shouldn't be up there, right?
Well, but they are a blessing, and that certainly is how Carla and I came across each other, and it's a natural fit because we're both songwriters, as you mentioned, but we also love to play classic rock and soul and country, so we have a lot of common ground.
And you've written together?
Not yet, although I think that is something we would like to do in the future. We've just been really busy working on our own projects and collaborating that way, but I could definitely see that happening.
So far, it's just been that we've been backing each other on each other's catalog and doing a lot of shows together as well. We play pubs and taverns, and as well as the clubs. And we like to do shows where we'll break out mostly covers and just play a pub all evening long. That's always fun.
Okay. And what are some of the highlights of your time together?
Well, this, of course.
Yes,
there you go.
yes,
Okay.
definitely.
This is
That's
definitely number
flattering.
one.
That's flattering.
But this coming Tuesday, we're doing something exciting at the Bitter End. We're a part of a charity event there, and I believe we go on at 8 o'clock sharp
Yes.
on Tuesday, and it's for a good cause. So that's one thing people can come out to see us. We've got a busy calendar coming up in the future as well. We did some great gigs this past year, including some winery gigs this past summer.
Okay.
We like the winery gigs.
Yeah.
I would actually say one of the winery gigs was a highlight of ours. Like, it was Chris's birthday weekend earlier in June, and we met this really great couple, and they ended up inviting us over for dinner, and they got a cake for Curtis. So that was one highlight.
The highlight for Troubadours is definitely when the audience buys you dinner.
Free cake, free dinner, free
Yeah.
wine. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't get any better than that.
Sing for your supper.
The
right?
Bitter End is a very, very famous, place
Yeah.
in the city for those that may or may not know. It's been around for, Peter, Paul, and Mary, John Denver. It's been around
Bob
for,
Dylan.
Bob Dylan, for 60 so
Yeah.
it's a landmark, and it's a nice venue to be performing at.
Well, we
Yeah.
play often. This past week, we were at a place called the Terra Hill Tavern, which is on the Upper West Side. A few weeks ago, we were up in the Adirondack Mountains playing a pub up there.
Uh-huh.
We do like to do some regional tours here and there as well. And we certainly have plans also. Carla just recorded a song, and we're going to be releasing that in some sense or other. I have one record under my belt and another one on the way as soon as we can find the time to actually go into the studio. So we have some, we're always making plans.
Is there a preference between a Manhattan club or playing outdoors in the mountains? I once saw James Cotton at the Bear Mountain Festival. He was drunk. He played till like 4:30 in the morning. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Does it inspire you to be outdoors, indoors? Does it matter?
Well, do you like to travel, Carla?
I love to travel. So I'm good either way.
It always presents its own hardships, and we certainly have our horror stories from the road. But you have to always look for ways to build your audience. And
Sure.
if you're doing it in the same geographic area, then it makes it harder. So we're looking for opportunities to play out and about, but on the other hand, it's always great to get gigs close to home as well. We play throughout New York City. We also play Westchester. I know Carla has something coming up in Westchester soon. We're frequent performers at a place called Coffee Labs up in Tarrytown. So we're trying to use stepping stones to get to the next further place out there,
Right.
the next gig.
And you're going to perform today for a worldwide audience. And
Yes.
later in the show, we're going to play some videos from around the world. So it's another way to build an audience, to do media.
Absolutely, and I've done your radio show in the past, and so we're very thrilled to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And we go back a long time.
Yes, we do.
That's right. So, John, you've been a fan of Curtis for a long time. Any questions?
I was interested. I know that you did the Desire project. Why don't you mention something?
Yeah.
Bringing Bob Dylan back into the fold.
Thank you for asking, because in fact we had a reunion show recently at Garcia's Lounge, which is the Capitol Theater in
Oh, that's right.
Portchester.
They called it that. Yeah.
And just a few weeks ago, we had a reunion. It's a project that a friend of mine, Julie Corbalis, is the mastermind behind. And I always sing One More Cup of Coffee, which is perfect for me because I drink a lot of coffee. And I play a lot of coffee houses too, so it's a good gig, good song for those gigs. But yeah, this is a record we made a few years ago. It's a tribute to Bob Dylan's Desire. This is still available on the website, and this is, there's a photo of me in there amongst the other people as well, and some wonderful artists are on this. This was actually done before I met Carla. But in addition to Julie, there's Matt Turk and Fred Gillen Jr. and some other people too. And there it is.
Fred's a tremendous artist. I've seen Fred live.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, we hear occasionally we get a chance to break out the Desire project, the Backwards Jupiter. That is just Dylan songs. That's not original material. But
Dylan Jacques Levy, right? He didn't compose.
That's right. That's
Jacques
right.
Levy, who did what? "O Calcutta," and interesting. It's an interesting record, Desire.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's an interesting. I mean, I think I have my own copy. I enjoy that. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank you.
terrific,
Yeah.
terrific album, and terrific project.
That was a joy to do, and in fact, it got written up in a local newspaper when we did our reunion show recently. So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, every press helps.
Of course, even bad press is still press, right?
Just get my name right.
And Carla, you do a lot of work with musicians on the business end of things. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, when I first came to New York, I started working in the music industry. I worked in music publishing, and I just did a lot of things on the business side, from either the publishing or management or music publicity. So I started writing these articles to help other musicians, and I ended up, writing a book from that, and then writing another book with a publicist. So that naturally kind of led itself to doing workshops. So I teach musicians and now, business owners how to market themselves online.
That's tremendous, because I get very tired of my musician friends going, by the way, I'm playing tonight at 9 o'clock,
I
and they think that's
know.
publicity.
I know.
Yeah.
That is definitely a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
When someone says, "Oh, I have a gig," and you hear about it the day before, and
The day after sometimes,
right? Exactly.
which always helps.
Exactly, but you
Yeah.
know that they knew that they had this gig. They just forgot to market it or tell anyone, and that's sort of sabotaging yourself when you don't tell people that you have a show, and then you wonder why people don't show up.
Now, I've been told that you have to be reminded 7 times for something to actually stick, because there's such a bombardment of information on the
true.
internet.
It's true.
So, by the way, I'm gigging at 7 o'clock isn't publicity.
No,
Yeah.
that's a by the way, because
Yeah.
as you said, everyone else. There's so many people, especially in a place like New York. People have gigs every night of the week, so many times all day. So if you're just telling someone at the last minute, most likely someone has other plans of somewhere else they're going to go.
And make the gig feel special. Yes. This is a Bob Dylan tribute. This is a 50th birthday celebration.
Yes, yes.
This is the 20th anniversary of the club.
Yes.
In other words, it's not just another night out. You have to.
You have to make an event. Like, actually, that's a very good point. This past Tuesday, when we were at Terra Hill Irish Tavern, that was our 50th gig. So that was a really great opportunity to just promote it like crazy, because that's such a great milestone for us. 50 gigs within 2 years.
Wow.
It's
So
exciting, yeah.
yes, it's very exciting. We're very proud that we are still working together and still friends.
You haven't murdered each other.
Yeah, exactly. We're still friends. That's-
So the Ike and
that's-
Tina comparison is definitely not.
No.
Definitely
Okay,
not.
No,
Good.
no.
You ever see the show Unsung?
What's that?
You ever see the show Unsung?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always the band. They love each other in the beginning. At the end, they want to kill each other. They're in court. They have shot each other. I mean, I think it's human nature. It's very
Yes.
tough. Very
Yes.
tough. Especially when you multiply it by 5 people.
Yes.
I mean, the 5 people in the band have to get along. It's
Well, we try to be supportive, and we're both doing things independently as well. You know, Carla's too modest to mention it sometimes, but she's in the house band for the No Name
Oh.
and a Bag of Chips
Yeah.
shows,
Variety show,
which
yeah.
is a variety comedy show, and is it every Friday or
just about every
usual
Friday.
Fridays? You can find Carla as part of that house band. It's a terrific show. And the other thing that I have coming up soon is it's my first experience with the theater.
show us that.
Yeah. Here's the poster. And
What is the Sherlock Holmes? And,
It is-
this, I remember
yes,
that, the Spectrum Band.
it's
What a
called
great
it's
story.
called the Red. Well, no spoilers now, John.
Not giving anything away.
It's called the Red Monkey Theater Group, and recently they invited me to participate in their fall production of a Sherlock Holmes adaptation, The Adventure of the Speckled Band, and
You're playing the band.
Well, actually, I am in the role of the Gypsy Troubadour.
Oh, there you go.
And I wrote the score, and I'm performing the score live during
Awesome.
the play, and I also wrote an original song for the show.
Wow.
And they've named me the musical director of the show, and I'm very proud of this. This
where
is
is
a
where
new
is
thing.
it?
It's at the College of Mount St. Vincent, which is in Riverdale in the Bronx.
Oh.
Beautiful campus. And it is the first 3 weekends in October. And if you Google, any of that information I've said, you'll find information about this. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, it's coming up soon, and I'd love it if you guys could come out and see the play.
Awesome. Awesome. And whenever we have great artists on, we usually ask, who are some of your musical influences?
Why don't you go first? Carl?
Okay. Well, for me, Sheryl Crow, Aretha Franklin. I also, Jeff Buckley. I like the classic rock. I can't even necessarily think of like one particular, but if you say classic rock, I sort of grew up with classic rock when it wasn't classic. And
Yeah.
when it was new.
Now it's oldies.
Yeah, I know.
I remember walking into a club on St. Mark's, which doesn't exist, Cine, one night, God knows how many years ago, and Jeff Buckley was actually was recording what was his live album at Cine.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
I think Allen Ginsberg was there.
Wow.
I mean, I just kind of just walked in, and all this was going on.
That was a great scene. And what about you, Curtis? He also has.
Yeah, well, songwriters to me, that's really that's what does it for me. So I love John Lennon, I love Bob Dylan, I love Neil Young. That's kind of my triumvirate. Then certainly the classic rock guys, Jerry Garcia, Cat Stevens, perhaps the Rolling
He's
Stones.
going to be on tour.
Yeah, he's coming out again. Yep, with something new. But I try to listen to as many different things as I can, and one thing I like about Carla, both when we play as a duet and also when we play with my band, the Dilettantes, is we really try to have a very expansive look at all kinds of rock and roll music, and we'll play Talking Heads, we'll play other things, whatever we can think of, Velvet Underground.
And didn't you guys used to do Sweet Jane?
Oh,
I
yes,
remember.
that's right.
I remember
Yeah.
fondly
It's-
remember that.
It's the only accordion cover of that song I've ever heard. Yes.
Yeah, that's a program.
I like Zydeco music where the accordion's a major part of it.
Washboard.
Yeah.
The accordion's having a real renaissance. I'm trying to ride that wave.
I thought you were leading it.
Yes. I'm only kidding just a little
I
bit.
think Weird Al Yankovic has helped to champion that instrument. as
Yeah.
well.
Weird Al, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Weird Al, actually. And, the thing about the accordion is it's the butt of many jokes, but when people hear it, it's really such a unique sound, and it can do so many beautiful things.
Well, and we also do a cover. We do an Aretha cover with tambourine and accordion, and no one expects it.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's true. When you play, R&B on the accordion people to give you a second glance.
Interesting. So we're looking forward to hearing you twice on the show later, backing John Winnell during his poetry set and doing your own set.
Terrific.
So it's going to be exciting, and we're going to ask you to stay on the couch because when we come back after the commercial break, we're going to check out some videos from around the world, and I'm going to ask your expert opinions, what you think of the videos. We want you to be honest.
Okay.
Be honest.
Okay.
All right, we will be right back with more of Legends TV right after this, folks.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
I'm Tommy Marr. I'm down in St. Bart's having a good time. A lot of people at this time, they like to go have a little cocktail. But you know what I do? I'm going to watch MadhouseTV.com. You got that right.
And we are back with our esteemed panel. We have poets and authors and singer-songwriters, and we're going to do a little music video review segment a la Dick Clark's American Bandstand. But before we do that, guys, plug your CDs and tell everybody where they can get them and your social media and all of that.
Yes, thank you. Well, I put out a CD in 2011. It's called Tales of a Traveler, and it is available on CD Baby. It's 15 songs. It's 70 minutes of music, and it's only $10, so it's a bargain. I do have plans to record my follow-up record this year with my band, The Dilettantes, and also with Carla. So we've got some new songs to play today as well.
Okay. Carla?
Let's see. Where do I start? I have my CD, Supernova, and that's available as a CD as well as on iTunes. And let's see, as far as website stuff, my personal blog is rockstarlifelessons.com. You can also find curtisandcarla.com as well as facebook.com/curtisandcarla. And we're really active on Facebook with, pictures and videos and things like that. And, and there's always Google. We're all over the net.
Okay. And without further ado, we're going to check out our first video. Grace Marino, all the way from Australia. She'll be here live in studio, the other end of the world, in about 3 weeks, I believe October 18. And this is Survive. Check it out, folks.
I'll go first for this time, 'cause I need to tell you what's on my mind. Does it hurt? Do you hurt? Are you fine? Feel the need to succeed in this life that continues to challenge me. Do you learn? Does it burn in your mind? Do you want to make our love survive? Do you want to make our love survive? Next to you, I am true, holding on to what you say and do. But I heard from the pain I have inside. Won't you try to make our love survive?
All right. Grace Marino from the initiative Survive. And John the Poet, what'd you think?
Well, she can sing. It was exciting. I mean, I like to see her, hear more, see and hear more.
And you're going to hear and see more right here at Madhouse TV on Legends TV, October 18th. So you're going to get your wish. Brian, what'd you think?
I think Blue Eyed Soul is alive and well. I enjoyed it. Do you remember Lisa Stansfield?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ring a bell? Her voice reminded me a lot of Lisa Stansfield. I
That's
enjoyed
certainly
it
a compliment.
Yeah.
All right. Carla?
I'm a huge fan of the strong female singer. She's had the smoky tone and the vibrato in her voice, and just, and she could do the belt, and just great emotional, dramatic singer. I thought it was great.
Awesome. Thought it was great. Doesn't get much better than that. Curtis?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a rock and roll guy, but absolutely, she's terrific, and I'm sure it'll be a great show.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. She'll be happy to hear this.
Yeah.
All right. And the next video is Felix Linden's When I Look at You for President Obama. This should be interesting. Check it out, folks.
I go out, and when I go in, they come out with that same old crazy spin. Now you know it done got rough when they say that your ice ain't cold enough. But when I look at you, I put those things behind. I know my bill may pay, but that's not right now on my mind. When I look at you, get a feeling deep inside, letting me know everything gon' be alright. When I look at you, I've been up, and now that I'm down, all my friends, they are nowhere to be found. It's so hard just hanging on when you know that your hope is almost gone. But when I look at you, it eases all my doubt. With you in my corner, who could ever count me out? When I look at you, I'm just a bird in flight, and for a moment, only good days are in sight. When I look at you.
Felix Linden, when I look at you, in no particular order, just jump in. What'd you think?
I have something to say.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to hold your hand up.
I know. Sorry. No, because I was thinking, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. The music, well, for one thing, the music was a little low, so I couldn't totally get the lyrics. And if I wouldn't have been looking at the video, I wouldn't have known that it was about Obama. It has a very romantic kind of tone of the music itself. It's very soulful. But there was for me, there's just a slight disconnect of the style of the music and what it's supposed to be about. So while I thought the music was good, I just didn't totally get the idea across that, oh, this is about our president.
Okay. Anybody else?
Soon to be in heavy rotation on Fox News.
That's right. That's right.
They're going to love that.
Yeah. Interesting.
I appreciate the sentiment. It's hard to write a song about politics in a way that really makes sense, unless you're protesting something. If you're trying to support something, I think it makes it more difficult. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that's something that I would really go for. I like my songs more critical of my politicians.
What's going on, Marvin Gaye?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. John?
Oh, I mean, the music was pleasant. I mean, I heard like Stevie Wonder kind of, especially with the harmonica. It was nice. It was light, but it's pleasant. I'll say pleasant.
Okay, so kind of a mixed review, but good music, good music. And our next video, Natalie and Zachary Wilkes, also from Australia. So we have our fans on the other side of the world watching Legends TV. Check it out.
No, I can't get your face off my mind. Look at me, it took my life by surprise. Hit my heart, changed my pace, left me dreaming in a daze. 'Cause I can't get your face off my mind. Shook your hair from your face, see your eyes. You showed me love that you tried not to hide. Threw a smile just for me, took a while, but I could see that I can't get your face off my mind. How should I feel? Is it for real? It's in my heart every way. 'Cause I feel every day that I can't get your face off my mind. How should I feel? Is it for real? It's in my heart every way. 'Cause I feel every day that I can't get your face off my mind. No, I can't get your face off my mind. You looked at me, took my life by surprise. Hit my heart, changed my pace, left me dreaming in a daze. 'Cause I can't get your face off my mind. No, I can't get your face off my mind. 'Cause I can't get your face off my mind.
All right, from our friends in Australia, The Initiative. And shout out to Jeff Brown and Joe Mandica. Joe Mandica coming to New York, October 18, Legends TV. And what'd you think?
Shout out to Australia. I don't know, they're catchy, popular, and here, go with the Nick Cave theme. I applaud.
All right.
You can dance to it, too.
Yeah, it's a
you
good
stole
beat and you
my
can dance
line.
to it.
I loved the harmony. I thought the harmony was great, melodic, just a great, catchy pop song. Very enjoyable. And you could dance to it. I'm going to say it again.
Okay.
That's my line. Now it's my line.
Carla?
Well, you stole my line.
Oh, damn it.
We
No,
just
because I
passed it
know,
down.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
come on, everybody can
It's
take.
definitely melodic. I really did enjoy the harmonies, and I like the chord progression. Just musically, it stuck in my ear, and and I was bopping along in my seat while I listened to it. So I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll add a little note of dissension. I liked it too, and but when I
Not
was
as good as us.
well, when I was growing up, Australian rock bands had an edge. It was like Midnight Oil and In Excess, and I kind of missed that. And I don't know, I'm not expecting that from every Australian rock band or something, but that kind of approach to rock and roll, I think, is more to my taste.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, what if they said labels don't matter and it's not rock, it's pop? Would it make a difference?
Well, it is pop, and that's fine, and it's good. It's just, like I said, rock is more what I'm
Okay.
into.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
I'm an R&B guy, so
There you have it.
but I liked
Right.
it. I liked it very much.
Yeah.
And our final video from our buddies in Detroit. This is called Brady Chock from the Twistin' Tarantulas. Check it out. right, so let's do this quick because we want to give you guys a half hour on stage. What'd you think?
Fun, like surfing Dick Dale. That's what comes to mind.
All right, Brian?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of surf rock, so I love that kind of guitar. It was really fun.
Awesome.
Fun toe tapper.
There you go. That was concise. All right, Curtis?
Yes, I agree. Very good song.
There you go. Well, another unanimous rave review. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to have the poetry of John Winnell and the music, live music as well. So don't go anywhere. This is going to be great. Legends TV. For nearly a decade, Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Lano, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are archived 24/7 with hundreds of hours of classic interviews. Legends Radio also features the best in indie music, showcasing talent deserving wider exposure.
Brooklyn, baby, don't forget the gravy. We are soldiers.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
How you doing there out there in Madhouse TV? I'm John Winnell, and today I have the honor of being backed with by Curtis Becraft and Carla Lynn Hall. Thank you. So we're going to start out with some ones from the book, and we're going to go back and forth with some old ones and some new ones, and some sweet ones and some blue ones. It's called The Red Maples. Hot white afternoon light engulfs blood-red leaves of maple trees, screaming silently as if torn asunder by a rabid storm. The bus, filled to capacity, passes as local girls chatter elegantly at their own reflections, and silent, baffled boys ponder curves and accents. I watch for street signs, numbers climbing, leaving tired, cracked streets where cars dodge cats and dogs run at night seeking nothing and everything. Alone, I wait as the moon slips across a greasy night sky, full of madness, pulling wishes from lovers who lie beneath these trees, whose fallen leaves offer warmth as winged creatures dart between their shadows. Thanks. And we've been around as people for thousands of years, and civilizations have come and gone, but sometimes get buried under the sand. And this is called Pillars of Sand. Desert's coarse petals sift as moving breath. Ageless tracks buried, camels carrying packs, while an unkind light blisters exposed skin. How many tales lost to the wind as cities once great, now as remnants of tickling scarabs or serpents, sleep beneath pillars of sand. And keeping with the theme on Egypt, when they opened Tutankhamun's tomb, they discovered casks of delicious honey, which was as fresh as when it was first sealed. The mystery of the ages as sweet as the passage of time. As light abates, we speak of many things, watching fireflies hover in Battery Park. The music that marked time within cool breezes seemed to put them on some mating dance, floating out of the ground, illuminating the air with green phosphorus as cagey starlings dart between bushes and gobble them up. The honey of evening forever flows. We watch an eager sun dip below the river and give birth to a saddened moon, as if it had so many years ago, along the banks of the Nile, while an ibis raised its wings and drifted within the canyons of a cloud. Thank you. These next two are about the fragility of sight. It's called A Breath of Heartbreak. Long black hair dances in soft breezes. The park midsummer is alive with parade-filled crevices. We sit and watch the craters of the moon, the archer hunting the skies, while you catch a sliver of the moon upon your tongue. They told me I take in too much light. Slowly the rays lose their brightness until darkness is eternal. Only then will the memory of your face move me to tears. This is called The Sickle of Time. To gaze into fragmented glass where colors are splintered and reality imitates an opalescent fever. I watched a hawk dark across a wheat field in the early hours of twilight, stunning a mouse with a quick bite to the back of its neck. In your eyes, the pain of ages, like the crusty pages of a book, splintering, leaving unread letters forever stuck in time. Like that mouse horrified, your stunned words reflect in the mirror, in the window. You walk within the shadows of a hallway, and I wait for the shrill of a metallic scream. I know we're running low on time, so I will end with this last short piece. And thank you, Evan. Thank you, Madhouse. Thank you, Carla and Kurt. And we look forward to hearing you. So to end, bare trees scrape robin's egg blue. Clear as hands, now empty, left prints on all fallen bodies. I listened to the sounds of morning as light strayed through flowers that smiled inside the apartment, where music danced and shadows told their stories to the wind. Thank you.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Okay, so this is an original song. This is on my record, Tales of a Traveler, and this is our tribute to the great country duets. This is called Things You Do to Me.
All last night I lie awake thinking about the things that you do to me. Well, all night long I'm tossing and turning with the things that you do to me. I gotta be free. I don't wanna be loved. Maybe it's you I'm thinking of. All day long I'm driven to distraction by the things that you do to me. Well, all day long I'm my satisfaction and the things that you do to me. We gotta be free. We wanna be loved. Maybe it's you I'm thinking of. Some people say I'll be going to the devil for the things that you do to me. Well, if you're there, I'd follow you to hell for the things that you do to me. We gotta be free. We wanna be loved. Maybe it's you I'm thinking of. We gotta be free, 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 free. We wanna be loved. Maybe it's you I'm thinking of.
Well, thank you. So we are now going to carry along with one of Carla's songs.
And which one would you like to do, Curtis?
Say goodbye.
All right then. Okay, so while Curtis is getting out the big guns.
Yes. As they say in show business.
So we're gonna do one of my songs from my CD Supernova, and it's "Say Goodbye," and it's about you know, when you're over your ex, whoever that is, and you're ready to move on. That's what this is about. Okay. I hear the lines you're laying, a lot of mind you're paying, a second chance you're saying, no, not this time. I hear the tale you're telling, I've seen the bridge you're selling, I closed my eyes and fell in, no, not this time. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Say goodbye. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Oh, say
Your heart you feel like sharing. My eyes you wanna stare in. No, not this time. I feel the vibe you're sending. You want a happy ending. Well, my broken heart's still mending. No, not this time. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Say goodbye. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Oh, say all those promises I just can't believe. How deep your love, how good it could be. And all those times when you made me cry, you couldn't tell me why. You will lie by and by. I see the jeans you're wearing. Your heart you feel like sharing. My eyes you wanna stare in. No, not this time. I feel the vibe you're sending. You want a happy ending, but my broken heart's still mending. No, not this time. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Say goodbye. You will lie by and by. Don't ask why. Oh, say, say, say goodbye. Bye. Bye. All right, so we'll do another original of mine. I mentioned that I have a CD called Supernova, and this is the title track. And it's basically a cosmic love song. John, he knows about this song. At least knows about Supernova. I'm no Galileo, but I know what I find. A new discovery, so glad that it's mine. It's not a satellite invading my view. Out of the blue, the brightest star is you. Brand new constellation you can see in the sky. A silly Capricorn, a Sagittarius. Don't need no telescope, just your naked eye. Out of the blue, the brightest star is you. You're my supernova in the galaxy of you and me. Supernova, I can't fight the laws of gravity. How did our worlds collide in 1,000 points of light? You shine so bright, supernova. in 1,000 points of light. You shine so bright, supernova. Supernova. We're still together by day and by night. Though we have turbulence, you're my ray of light. Your love is luminous, the heavens ignite. Out of the blue, the brightest star is you. You're my supernova in the galaxy of you and me. Supernova, I can't fight the laws of gravity. How did our worlds collide in 1,000 points of light? You shine so bright, supernova. Supernova. Super. All right. Thank you.
All right, we're going to try to get one more in here before we have to go. We want to thank Evan Ginsberg, Legends TV, John Winnell, Brian. We want to thank Tom behind the camera and everyone for having us here. Thanks so much.
We've had a lot of fun.
So, you know, songwriters are, they're funny birds because when they encounter one of life's problems, they try to figure out what it rhymes with. So that's what this song is about. It's called Carnival. Here in the crowd, there always something going on. Busy and loud, the carnival pulled into town. I looked around, but I couldn't find any way to spend my time. I laughed at the clowns, but they didn't ease my mind. I ain't no acrobat, I've fallen before. I ain't no diplomat, you always know just where I'm at. Fade to black, then get up, another day arrives. We spend all our lives trying to survive. She likes the words I sing, she sings them back to me. She likes the words I write, she asks me what they mean. And I don't always know, I've still got so very far to go. Sometimes I think a man might not be satisfied. He walks a lonely road, looking for what he can't find. Then he dies, he fades away, he never sees another day. He spends all his life searching for some prize. Back at the carnival, they're tearing down the tents. They're making room for some new development. I looked around, but I couldn't find any way to spend my time. My ears heard a sound, and it lingered in my mind.
the words I sing, she sings them back to me. She likes the words I write, she asks me what they mean. And I don't always know, I've still got so very far to go.